Very well, thank you. Good morning, Taiwo. Good morning, Fisayo.
Good morning, Valentine. Good morning,
Good
Lagos.
morning, everybody.
Welcome. Lagos, join the conversation by sending us messages. And when I say Lagos, I mean everybody, all right? So, Lagos, the world, wherever you're tuning in from, please send us messages on WhatsApp 0809 WhatsApp messages. Twitter is at Smooth981FM. The hashtag Business Express 981. And we're streaming live on YouTube so you can watch.
All right, thank you so much. Stock market is down again, 0.15%, 26,357 points where the all-share index closed. I think the market is down by 16%. Yes, 16.14%. All right, let's quickly hop into stories. Yetunde, I'm so sorry. I think her name is Yeti on Twitter. She was asking us to talk about the circular that's released by the CBN about OMO auctions. We're going to move that to Monday, okay? But I will tell you that the new name for the CBN is the Circular Bank of Nigeria. That's what we're calling them now. If I want very clever person, give them that name, because that's all they've been doing. Just
it's not
handing
official.
out circular. Yeah, it's a nickname. Yeah, handing out circulars up and down. Okay, guys. The body of bank CEOs has a press conference today. Hopefully I'll get to attend it, where they want to clear the air about the USSD transactions between themselves and the telcos. Are there any questions I should ask them when I get there? Do you have any questions? Lagos, do you have any questions for the body of bank CEOs? No questions, sir. So do you have any questions for them?
For the bank CEO?
Yes, they're having a press conference.
They should get their story straight.
Guys, I'm going there for the truth. I'm going there for the truth. So we'll see how that one goes. Okay, there's a new online, or at least that I'm aware of, online job portal for people who are looking for work. It's called Get a Job NG. Yes, can we shed some light on this portal, the company that has launched it, and how they hope to reduce unemployment by going through this route to get people jobs?
I mean, I have my views around unemployment in Nigeria, because again, I've stepped in personally to do some intervention along this. But one thing I discovered again is that I'm not sure we need more job portals. Okay, so when I was an investment banker, the typical complaint is going to be that companies will say that the graduates are not employable.
Okay.
The graduates will claim that there's no job for them, right? So, but the truth is that the school is not necessarily preparing the graduates for work, basically. So, I mean, the things you learn at school, your econometrics is not being used as an investment banker. All of the things you learned, basically, most of them are probably not being used at the workplace. Right. So I think it's important to figure out how to upskill graduates rather than create another job portal, because it's the same unemployable in quotes that you'll be reaching and accessing. So there's really no need for that. The initiatives I would support would require getting people on the job skills rather than some other portal for them to apply. They're not.
That's a very good point. I think these guys address that. What do you think about the portal? I think it's CNI Leasing that's behind this. Yeah, the leasing company. Yeah. Okay, so
I don't really see how different it is from a lot of the other ones at the end of the day.
Okay.
The big questions are, how do they really hope to do this? Because I think we've gotten used to this short-termism, and trying to get people, just do like some kind of boot camp, just ferry people out, even if they are in there and trying to do any kind of capacity development. But we should look more long term. So somebody wouldn't, like Isaiah was saying, you can't have spent 4 years, 5 years, 6 years in the university, and then you come out and you're totally ill prepared for the demands of the current job.
Okay.
And that's why banks or financial institutions would employ engineering graduates ahead of even people who did accounting or economics, for example.
So you're on the same side as Fisayo.
Oh yeah. So at the end of the day, So let's do something more fundamental and more critical there. So our graduates are not prepared for the market that they're coming into, whether as entrepreneurs or whether as career workers and so on and so forth. They're like that. That's the real truth.
Okay. All right. So upscaling. So you guys check it out. It's get_a_job_ng. That's the handle. Shola, I see your question. Shola, what's the difference between treasury bills and money market? A treasury bill is a money market instrument. So it's like saying, I think his question is like, what's the difference between an automobile and a Honda? I think so. So T-bills, they just essentially mature in under a year. Fred is asking if the forum of bank CEOs is bank CEOs or telcos. It's all bank CEOs, the CEOs of all the big banks. What's
Rotus,
you know?
you make a good teacher because the way you answered Fred was very commendable.
Oh yeah, pretty. Well, we'll have to be pretty fast here. You guys,
Benga,
you guys don't give us enough time.
Benga said, our graduates should learn to adapt to the environment today through more skill acquisition. Nobody will do it for them. So what they should do for themselves, that's what he says.
Okay.
And Inka says, job portal, where's the work? These guys think one job is somewhere waiting for to hire graduates. The NCDMB program would have been able to address the pertinent issues, but there's no follow-up or follow-through. Like Fisaya said, the graduates aren't even prepared for the market.
All right.
As well. And I agree with you guys, what Kenneth says, that you don't really need another online job portal. I'm not really sure they would do anything different from the existing ones. What we do need is capacity building to equip graduates to become employable.
Solid. Tolu, where have you been? Tolu is asking what's the deal on the 15-hour POS transactions at fuel stations. So Tolu, that's what we're here for. The central bank it's a central bank directive.
Circular.
Yeah, they sent a circular. Thank you. There's a circular for that. So the any transaction amount over 1,000 naira, you're going to pay a stamp duty of 50 naira on that. All right, guys, quickly on to this. Is Facebook responsible for clamping down on fake news, or are we Facebook users responsible for being aware and being alert as to what as to what fake news is? I would like your thoughts, because this is part of the, just for our listeners, Mark Zuckerberg was testifying in the U.S. Congress. He was grilled left and right. The media outcry after that, or rather response, is that he didn't do very well. But that's the question I'm posing to you two and Lagos. Who is responsible for the senators and Congress people were saying that Facebook should do more to clamp down on fake news. Zuckerberg was saying essentially that, well, they can't really, he was talking about free speech, and basically you should put it on us, the users, to be aware. So where did the two of you stand?
I mean, I don't think I don't think it's the responsibility of Facebook to censor anything, right?
So you're saying if you want to go and spread false news,
yes,
you should be allowed to do that on Facebook.
So because again, if I give the authority to an organization to determine what can be said, then it can essentially, block anybody from saying things, even if it is right or wrong.
Yes.
Right. So I think the responsibility should not be on a certain individual to have the power to say, I'm not going to put that political ad on because it violates our policy. So what's your policy? Well, you're a PDP member. I'm not going to hear your campaign. Or APC. So I think that
the other 91 political parties at that time,
irrespective of whatever side you're leaning, you should be allowed to say the things you have to say, right? So, but that said, right, then the question is going to be, at what point are you crossing the line, or are you crossing the limit of another person's right? Spreading fake news or false news, I mean, does not necessarily cross anybody's,
but it misleads people.
Well, unfortunately, you're the one sourcing your information from the wrong places. So it means that, so for instance, you Google something and then you see thousands of responses. Your job is to figure out, is this website credible for me to source this information from? So the responsibility is on you to decide what information you want to follow or not.
Okay, that's true. I mean, Taiwo,
I disagree, because we're talking about something very definite here. It's called fake news. So there's an adjective in front of the word news, which is fake. Which means there are other sources of verification that can be implemented. Facebook has grown to become this behemoth of an organization in such a short time, and with, the kind of market cap that they're in at the end of the day. They have the resources.
Short time.
Yes, they have these resources. They have the resources. They have the technology. They have everything that any modern organization needs to do to be able to check this thing. All they're saying is this: just go a step further and verify this thing, because they're exploiting the people's weaknesses and people's whatever it is, the source assets like that there. Again, I hear Fisayon saying, do you want to give an organization to determine that? But again, let's not forget, we're not talking about everything. We're not asking them to go and moderate the fact that I put pictures on there and they have to decide whether or not that my pictures are them.
I'll take the old body.
No, that's where there's regulation at the end of the
everything.
day. No, but my point is this: fake news is qualified.
We don't have time to argue.
That's the truth.
Let's move on.
But quickly, so I feel like if you increase the responsibility of a tech company that's private and it's into business, and
it's not private; it's a publicly listed company.
Publicly listed, yes. So does that now move it from the point of a privately run business into a government-owned service or property?
It's not a government on regulating fake news.
Regulation.
It's a journalism thing.
We don't have time,
Okay.
we have to move on.
Facebook is a media company. They don't like to be called that because
Okay.
they don't want to be regulated by the media.
But
that's what they are.
If you take away the freedom that you're providing to your users,
Question. We're saying Facebook.
Okay.
So take all the newspapers we have, media outlets here. Let's take Smooth FM. You start peddling fake news. NCC will slam you.
Right.
yes, Smooth FM
And
will
NBC.
not peddle.
And NBC will slam you as well. Whoever it is will slam you at the end of the
So
day.
Smooth FM will not peddle fake news because we're professionals. But the users
My
are
point.
not professionals, and they shouldn't be assumed
They shouldn't
to
be
be.
censored.
It's
But
their it's their
guys,
business model.
Okay,
Please.
They determine how, and they make money from it, which means there's commercial
I think I
gain
need-
there. It's their responsibility.
Gentlemen, we don't. If we have 20 minutes from next
I
week.
need one more. I need to make one more point.
Okay.
Just a single point.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when President Donald Trump won his election, everywhere on social media was agog around the fact that he lost popular votes. But look at what happened in Canada.
Please,
today.
can we move on, please?
what does that mean?
This guy is
Look
saying-
at what happened in Canada. Nothing is happening on the fact that Justin Trudeau lost popular votes.
you just
right?
wasted
I'm just
60
saying
seconds
that.
of our
I'm
time.
just saying that in all of these things, right? If organizations are allowed to push narratives that they want to push, they will go over the board
Okay.
to push it.
All right, Fred says tough question. So Twitter either bans Trump for fake information. Isaac said Facebook that won't even respond to you when you alert them that there's fake news. Apparently, you can report these things.
Yes, no.
Isaac is saying that Facebook is not
And Daniel
fast
says Facebook does not generate the content, please.
Okay.
That's actually the angle
Yeah.
I was driving from. But
Again,
hang
you
on,
say they
wait,
don't generate the
let's
content.
read the messages.
enough. Yes, it's their turn for no more for the two of you.
Okay, from you from the
Time
UK
up.
says, good morning, guys. It's a tough call for social media to control and determine what is true or fake news, especially when you have millions of information distributed. I say billions, actually. They can only try but can't resolve it in reality. Benga Kamu says, argument is good. I like this too.
Leke said Facebook is like a market. All goods are allowed. Your taste determines what you buy.
Exactly.
All right,
Thank
all right,
you.
all right. People are divided on this. He
I
said
think
the two of you are on fire. Nigerians like it when people argue. Nigerians like arguments. I'm telling you, they love it when they argue. All right.
You can say,
Okay.
Yes.
Wow,
That's
below the belt.
That's below. No.
Come on.
A final message from John A.
Okay.
It says, our universities prepare graduates for strikes, protests, and misdirected complaints and criticism.
Thank you all for your messages. We couldn't get to all of them, but don't worry. Next week, please remember, November 1st will be 20 minutes, so we'll have more time for Fisayo and Taiwo to argue. Fisayo and Taiwo, we appreciate you all the time, even though you ate up too much time today. We appreciate you coming in. And yeah, thanks. So I guess so. Monday we'll talk about all this deluge of circulars and what the CBN is going with Omo auction. So it should be interesting.
All right, please continue the conversation on social media. It doesn't end here. Go on Twitter at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag BusinessExpress981. Tweet at Rotanquote, ROTANKWOT. Good morning. Thank you, Fisayo.
No fake news.
You guys just heard, carry all the time.